All right guys, so I'm going to walk you through a process of making a shirt. The first thing that you're going to want to do, or at least what I do, is I turn my heat press on. It needs to be to 400 degrees, and this takes a little bit, so while I'm printing my designs and getting things ready, I just wait for that to heat up. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and print a design. Okay, so we're going to hit Start Creating, and we are going to go to the files that we have already loaded onto our computer. And the design that I need right now is the Halloween Town and Chill, so we're going to select that one. And it will already have your measurement set over here depending on the size of paper that you're using. So then you're going to hit Print, and then it'll give you another screen after this to start the printing process. Okay, so now we just wait for it to give us the next prompt to print. Okay, so this is the screen that's going to come up next, and you can adjust the size and it'll let you know if the size is too big. So that's probably as big as it's going to let me do it. You can also adjust your colors here if you need to. Sometimes I bump up the orange and the yellow. Alright, so then we're going to hit how many copies we need. This is something that I sell a lot of, so I'm going to just go ahead and do 10 copies of that, and then we're going to hit Print, and our printer will start printing. Alright, so the heat press still has about 9 degrees to go, so I was going to go over the shirt with you really quick. So I am going to be using a dark shirt, so the design obviously is not going to show up that well, but I am going to be bleaching the shirt. So as I've said before, you need to make sure that the shirt that you're using is at least 65% polyester. So the shirts that I typically use are the Gildan Soft Style. So you can see on the tag that it is 65% polyester. All right, and then going over my heat press a little bit, this is a newer one that I've just got. So this one pulls out on the bottom, and that way you can lay your shirt down, lay your design down, line everything up, so you're not underneath here burning your hands. So while we wait, I'll go ahead and lay my shirt down. And we can go ahead and place the design. And you can either use the butcher paper or the Teflon sheet. Right now I'm just going to be using the Teflon. This is just to protect the shirt from getting scorched because of the high temperature that we are using. Okay, so we're going to lay that down. It's taken about 10 minutes for the heat press to get up to 400. You can either do 55 seconds or 60. Here lately I've been doing 60 seconds. I think that it just helps get all the ink onto the shirt. And when you get a heat press, you want to make sure that your pressure is correct. The way that they recommend doing that is the paper test. So you could take like a piece of computer paper and put your heat press down and make sure that the piece of paper, when it's like shut on there, can't be pulled out. So it needs to be tight enough to keep a piece of paper underneath there. All right, so we're just going to go ahead and press it. It still probably has 2 degrees to go, but it's all right. So we're going to push that back in there, and we're going to push it down, and it's going to count down while we wait. Okay, all right, so we're going to lift it up, pull this out. It's going to be really hot, but make sure that you remove the design as soon as it's done to prevent any ink from smearing around. And then here's your design. Okay, so when you bleach the shirts, you want to make sure that you're putting something in between them. I have all these cardboard cutouts that I've made to put in between the shirts so the bleach doesn't bleach through. You can also find these at Hobby Lobby for $1.99 if you don't want to make your own. I typically bleach about 17 shirts at a time just because I have so many orders. So, yeah. Okay. So I just take, I'm probably covering my microphone. So I just take this shirt and cover it, or cover the piece of board with it, just like so. And then I'll end up taking all of them and laying them out. And the bleaching process works best in full sunlight. You will get your quickest process if you have sunlight onto the shirt. It will take twice the time if you don't have the sunlight. All right, so now we're gonna bleach. This is the bottle that I use. It is a glass bottle. I will put a link to that. I got it on Amazon. You got 2 of them. Before I started using this, I was just using a Mrs. Meyer's bottle that I had cleaned out and put bleach in. I just use straight bleach. Some people will mix water, but yeah, it's just straight bleach. And I will completely coat the design. I will completely coat the design, and then I just go through and splatter all around it. And then once this bleaches, I will flip the shirt over and I will do the other side. I do this because sometimes it will bleed through, and it just makes it easier if you have both sides done, just in case that happens. Now that they're all sprayed, they're gonna take about 15 to 20 minutes. If we were in direct sunlight right now, it would happen almost immediately. But as you can see, some of the gray ones are orange, and we want them to have more of a white tint. So we're gonna let them sit until they turn a little bit white, and then we're gonna flip them over and do the other side. After that, we will put them into the washer using only detergent, no fabric softener, and then dry them, and they'll be ready to go. Okay, now that they're lightened up enough, we're gonna flip them over and repeat the same process on the back.